IGEL's helping a lot of people lower their end user computing costs by, number one, the operating system is so much cheaper on the endpoint. You're able to also save tons of money in power and watts just powering that endpoint, especially if it's a thin client, let alone if it's a PC, it's going to still draw less power because there's less operating system going on there. Along with the security, centralized management and control, and the patch tempo is so much smaller than a regular Windows endpoint that people are used to.
IGEL actually provides great flexibility by providing both a software solution that you can leverage with essentially a virtual desktop or a virtual machine of a desktop on a USB key and a physical thin client. So IGEL provides that flexibility so the customer can decide what is the best fit. And obviously leveraging those old desktops combined with IGEL OS and a EUC solution such as Citrix WVD or VMware Horizon allows the customer to get the most out of those past investments.
I do believe that IGEL's positioned to really disrupt the end user computing market. Part of the reason for is this hybrid environment that organizations are going to live in for the next decade or more. The fact that IGEL can work with on-prem legacy technologies, older hardware systems, plus support the new digital age that's arising with the cloud workspaces, they're well positioned to ensure that organizations can make that transition to cloud while supporting their legacy technologies, all at a lower cost.
With IGEL's partnership, working with partners that work with the cloud environment like Microsoft, for example, those are allowing customers to see their total cost of ownership decreasing with the fact that they're going from on-prem to off-prem into the cloud. So being able to manage the devices, and when you look at the total cost of ownership, it's night and day. And I'm not going to give you all this, all the cost per device or overall deployment, but there's a huge savings long term. And IGEL is supporting the channel and giving them money back in their pocket.
I think IGEL brings a unique solution to the market to lower end user compute cost. The fact that I can repurpose hardware that's several years old and bring it back to life into a functional PC or a functional connection point. It's to the point where, I don't have to go out and buy new hardware or new clients. I can use what I have, repurpose them, and still deliver an excellent end user experience.
IGEL is helping our customers reduce their costs. Typically when you look at a VDI project, you have infrastructure, you have the brokers, and you have the endpoints. So first thing that they're addressing is the capability of supporting all the multiple protocols, all the multiple brokers, being able to support all of the infrastructure from whether it's a cloud-based workload to the on-premises workloads. Then you have the fact that they're actually able to deliver a better ratio of administrators to the end user endpoints that they're managing. So all of that's going to be reducing the operating costs for our customers, and definitely they're all very happy with it.
The math on the IGEL side, including Windows Virtual Desktop and Cloud Workspace, allows us to say this is really an operating expense where I can predictably tell you that the endpoint for IGEL OS is one cost. The licensing from Microsoft is bundled now with Microsoft 365, so you typically already have the license for WVD. Our cost is per user per month. And that only leaves us with the Azure infrastructure cost. How much does it cost me to run the virtual machines? And part of our management suite allows you to turn those machines off when they're not in use. So by what we call resource matching, only when users are logged in and need those machines are they up and being charged for. It allows us to really manage that cost. The end result is if you go to your finance department and say, okay, this is what it's going to cost me per user per month, they're already used to that for their Office 365 licensing, but if you give them a predictable number that's an operating expense, then we don't have that big purchase decision every 3 years that hits the CapEx side of the house.
I think for us, what we see is that you don't have to throw away what you've got. I mean, you've put a huge investment into a various array of clients, and as you move to the cloud, they're obviously not, they weren't designed for that, so they're not relevant or as relevant. And to be able to not throw that investment away, but to add to it, you could save probably 50% of your investment overall. So there are probably a lot of other reasons, but for the customers that I talk to, that's the big one.